A broadcast service of City College and the San Diego Community College District. This is Jazz FM 88.3 KSDS San Diego, Miles 100 Radio. I'm Dave Drexler with Inside Art. Support for Inside Art comes from the members of Jazz 88.3 Miles 100 Radio. I'm Dave Drexler with Inside Art. San Diego's Opera Neo returns for a new season of historically informed, relevant musical theater that challenges the stereotypes of operatic production. Up next for Opera Neo is the American premiere of French composer Louise Bertin's forgotten masterpiece Fausto, Friday and Saturday, June 26th and 27th at the Theater in Old Town. This uniquely youthful female perspective on one of Western culture's most enduring stories features a cast of rising vocal performers accompanied by the Opera Neo Orchestra playing on period instruments. Raw, visceral, and unfiltered, Fausto follows an aging, disillusioned scientist who strikes a desperate deal with the devil to reclaim his youth and pursue pleasure. And here to preview Fausto and other upcoming Opera Neo productions is company founder and artistic director Peter Kozma. Peter, it's great to have you back with us on Inside Art.
It's great to be back, Dave.
Well, you're celebrating your 15th year as a company, and I think that's quite momentous.
Yes, we are very happy to embark on our 15th anniversary season. It's very exciting. Of course, it's a big challenge. We put together probably the most challenging and demanding season to date, but also probably the most exciting one.
And for your next production, June 26th and 27th, you have what's being described as a forgotten masterpiece by Louise Bertin, and it is Fausto. I have to admit, I've never heard of even the existence of this.
Yeah, to be honest, I never heard of it either until August. And it was very interesting because on the same date, I got 3 emails from 3 separate people within hours from each other, alerting me to an article by Alex Ross titled, "There is More to French Opera Than Carmen and Faust." And I read it, and I found this opera in there. He's talking about Louise Bertin, who is a French composer, lived in the earlier part of the 19th century, female composer I never heard of. And he mentions her opera, Fausto. Now, I have been always, since my childhood, a really big fan of Gounod's Faust, and the story of Faust always fascinated me. Opera Neo was to produce Gounod's Faust in 2020, which production had been, of course, cancelled because of the pandemic. And seeing an opera I never heard of based on the same story was quite interesting. I immediately went to my trusted computer and looked up the opera and immediately found the recording by label Bruzain that basically unearthed this piece and created the modern performance edition. And I was completely blown away by the music. I never heard anything like this before. And I decided we just really need to produce this. I reached out to Bruzain, and they were incredibly helpful and provided us the performance edition free of charge, because their mission is to create and produce, distribute French romantic music as much as possible around the world. And we are here to do just that.
It's surprising to me that it has not yet been staged in America to this point.
Well, the first staging, the modern staging of it happened only once in 2024 in Essen, Germany. And yes, I am also surprised that nobody immediately caught up on this. So we are very happy we are able to do this.
Well, if you could take us through the story and Louise Bertin's take on it as well, it's a little different than the traditional.
Yes, she has a little bit of a different perspective, which I must say is actually closer to how Goethe himself saw the story unfold. I think the biggest difference is that Faust does not immediately sign the contract with the devil. In Gounod's version, basically the first scene ends with him signing the contract, selling his soul, and everything that unfolds afterwards, basically comes out of that fact. Here, he hesitates, and the devil gives him this freedom to do so only in Act 4, the final, right before the final scene of the opera. And this decision is made so he can save Margarita from death. So it's in a sense, it's self-sacrifice on Faust's behalf. The story will end a little bit differently too than the Gounod, because Goethe imagines eventually the devil losing the bet for Faust's soul. He sees it that as long as human strives for the good, even if makes mistake, even huge mistakes during this journey, he deserves the salvation. And this is how this opera ends.
Fascinating. And your musical approach to this on period instruments as well. This is a tradition of opera neo.
Yes, definitely. And one of the most exciting part of the musical realization of the score is figuring out what instruments are playing. And this is because it's a crazy tumultuous time, going from, the traditional Baroque classical instruments, like natural horns and trumpets, for example, to the more complicated valved instruments in the brass section. And there was a lot of research done by my lovely colleagues. We had even sessions in person figuring out, like, this sounds better or this sounds better. Does it worth doing this or that? And so we came up with a plan that involves several instruments that are used throughout the show.
Now, when it comes to your cast, they're part of a training program which Opera Neo, is built around for the development of young artists. Do they come to you because of the repertoire primarily, or because of the training itself and the repertoire as a side product?
You see, that's an interesting question. I think it depends. Many people come here because this is the only training program in the United States that produces fully staged operas of the 18th century with period instruments, with historically informed sort of viewpoints. Many people come because we produce opera in general, and we are really keen on trying to create an environment when people are able to grow and experiment and gain confidence to participate in this crazy, pretty hard business to enter to.
All right. Well, this show promises to be very interesting on June 26th and 27th. This will be in the theater in Old Town, a nice intimate space for music and theater.
Oh, definitely. We are very excited. We're very excited to produce at the Old Town Theater. It was a special opportunity that there was just a free space in the season. We are very thankful for Arms Wide Open that currently produces in the theater to let us use the facilities while they are away for another production. It is a very special place. It is intimate. It's under 300 seats. It has a sort of a round, a truss stage, and audience can sit almost in a round, seeing the production. The acoustics are interesting. It's kind of like an old barn, if you will, that was converted into a theater at some point, I guess. It's a great space to perform, and we're very excited to be there.
Then you will be moving to a place that you also have a great deal of familiarity with, the Spanish Village Arts Center, for your next production following, which is Rossini's Il Turco in Italia, July 24th and 25th. Now, this has so many classic elements of opera.
Oh, yes, we love to be in the Spanish Village. Not only because it's a lovely place to perform, doing opera under the stars outdoors, it's always a challenge, but also extremely rewarding. It feels so nice to be out in the elements sometimes in a beautiful summer night. But also because we are having such a welcoming community of artists in the Spanish Village, and we're always looking forward to coming back and interacting with the artists in the village. They're more and more involved in our productions as well, in the sense that they open their studios and guests, audience members in the intermission can go around and see the art they create, sip a cup of coffee, or have a cone of ice cream while enjoying the opera. Um, the opera itself is operatic in so many ways, but there's an extra layer here. It's an interesting concept on behalf of Rossini, that we are noticing or witnessing this opera created in real time, as one of the main character is the as it's called, the poet in the show. We transported this opera into the 1970s Hollywood.
Oh boy.
And and so the poet in this time is a young starting out movie director who's trying to produce his first feature movie, but the studio only allowed him to share the sound stage with a coffee commercial that now he needs to compete with, but also eventually actors from this commercial will participate in his own movie. Of course, it's a extremely fun summer night, a Rossini comedy. People will be delighted. Yes.
Yeah, that's a can't miss place for a wonderful summer evening at the Spanish Village Arts Center. There are a couple of other events throughout the summer there for Opera Neo. That's a night at the museum. That is in celebration of the 100th anniversary of the San Diego Museum of Art at the La Jolla Women's Club, July 18th.
That's right. We are very much looking forward to this wonderful collaboration with the San Diego Museum of Art. Of course, their centennial is a great opportunity to create something special. We picked several art pieces from their centennial collection, and it is a special event where we also picked several beautiful art songs from the 19th and 20th centuries, several composers from Germany and France and Spain. And we are pairing these compositions with the art. There will be an immersive multimedia presentation of these art pieces, not just, it is not just an art piece on a wall and a song by its side, but we're creating an immersive storytelling evening that involves arts and songs.
You also have a gala coming up to benefit the organization, Opera Neo, on July 12th.
That's right. From our founding, so it is going to be our 15th Aria Gala. We do this every year. It's a wonderful event that our audience can meet all of our young artists, one aria at a time. They will be singing one of their favorite repertoire arias for the audience, and afterwards they can meet the artists at the reception.
All right. Well, where can people go to get tickets for all of these events and learn more?
The best place is probably our website, operaneo.com. They can learn about the events and purchase tickets there.
Exciting news for Opera Neo in the American premiere of Fausto, followed by Il Turco in Italia, plus the night at the museum and the gala, all coming up this summer. And I've been speaking with Opera Neo's founder and artistic director, Peter Kozma. Peter, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Dave.
Opera Neo's North American premiere of Louise Bertin's Fausto runs Friday and Saturday, June 26th and 27th at 7:30 p.m. at the Theater in Old Town, followed by Rossini's Il Turco in Italia, July 24th and 25th at Spanish Village Arts Center in Balboa Park. Also, Opera Neo presents its annual Aria Gala July 12th and A Night at the Museum July 18th, with both events at the La Jolla Women's Club. Tickets for all Opera Neo performances can be purchased at operaneo.com. Inside Art is made possible with support from the members of Miles 100 Radio. Replays and extended versions of every Inside Art broadcast are available online at jazz88.org/Inside Art. Our theme is created and performed by Bill Mays, whose music is available at billmays.net. Again, my thanks to Peter Kozma and Harry Allen. For Miles 100 Radio, I'm Dave Drexler. Join me again on air and online for another edition of Inside Art.